What's going on, guys? Really quickly before the video begins, if you guys are coming from Facebook or another platform I've shared this video and you're only trying to find what camera you want to find for your very specific range, I will have the 4 categories that I've broken it up to in the description below with time codes. And if you're on a platform that doesn't have a description, if you click right down here, the little YouTube icon, it'll bring you right to the YouTube platform. That way you can watch it. Yeah, if you guys like the video, please like, subscribe, and enjoy the video. Let's go. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the vlog. My name is Grim and my lens is dirty. And today I'm here to talk to you guys about what camera you should buy for what you want to do, for your price range, and for your skill level. But first, I want to show you a couple photos. So my dad just got back from his vacation in England and he took some photos, and I've taken some of his photos that he took just to give you guys a little bit of comparison as to the difference of phone quality and professional grade quality. So you can see here that this photo was taken by my dad. It's a good photo, great composition, but this photo here was taken by Maurice DB and is an absolutely stunning photo. So with that being said, here is what camera you should buy. Let's go. Now, I know a lot of YouTubers have already uploaded this video, one of them being Peter McKinnon, comparing this $1,000 camera to this $10,000 camera. I'm here to talk to you guys about what camera you should buy for your price range, for your skill range, for what you want to do. You see, some cameras can be like watches. They're both nice, they both do what they're supposed to, they both tell the time. Well, this one is out of battery, but still. But there is some key fundamental differences. See, this one here, the $300 watch, is nice, sound, and is heavy. And this one from Wish.com is really cheap and can probably be broken by my own hands. So you see, some watches are good, expensive, but worth the price, and some, they just serve their purpose. See, now, I don't want this super cheap watch that doesn't do its job and that stay on my wrist. I want this watch that stays on my wrist, tells the time, and does what it's supposed to do. Did I just fucking lose the backing? Now, if you're just starting out, this is the first video you're ever gonna shoot, you're ever gonna make, you have no idea what you're doing, I suggest not buying a camera and using your phone. Now, a lot of phones nowadays actually have pretty good video quality, and they come with a thing here called Pro. Now, in your Pro settings, the only things you really are going to have to worry about are your ISO, your shutter speed, and your exposure. Now, I'm going to go into a whole kind of different video to show you guys what you really need to do with your ISO, your shutter speed, and your exposure to get those photos, but that's not what this video is about. The only thing I suggest, if you're going to be using your phone to shoot video, don't edit off this. Get a laptop that can handle Adobe. Most laptops nowadays can handle some form of video editing software, and when you do upgrade, you're gonna need to know how to edit on a laptop. Okay, so you've got more experience and you're looking to buy an actual camera. I have 3 suggestions for you here. Now, if you really want a DSLR, a big camera to take good photos and be reliable, I'm gonna suggest to you either the Canon T5i or the T6i, depending on your price range. Now, if you want something a little bit smaller and a little bit more compact, I would suggest getting the Canon G7 or the G7X. And if you're not a fan of Canon, there's also the Sony RX100 Mark II, Mark III. If you want to spend more money, the Mark IV. The Sony Mark II and Mark III, the Canon G7X, G7X Mark II, and the T6i all shoot 20 to 24 megapixels, 1920 by 1080, 30 to 60 frames, and are all under $1,000. Now, there probably are going to be some comments out there asking if GoPros are good cameras to vlog with, and my answer is yes and no. Yes, they are good for vlogging because you do get such a wide angle shot with them. They can be put basically anywhere, worn on your body, and you can accessorize them out the ass. But the reason I would say no, they're not good for vlogging is because you really do need good lighting to get good quality footage. Okay, so maybe you're a little bit more experienced, you don't want your beginner camera, you're looking for something that you can rely on every single day. So let's factor in a couple things here. Weight, image quality, and portability. Believe it or not, weight of your camera really does play a significant role in filming. just editing this video now, and I realized I didn't explain as to why weight of a camera is a thing to consider. Now, if you do videos more like me, to where I hold it in my hand, and you'll see I'll switch it back and forth from time to time, so that way I'm not over, working one arm, you know. But there's certain things with this camera I can't really do. With the Canon G7X, little tiny camera, I can bring that onto roller coasters, I can bring that and put that in my pocket and go ATV riding, go jet skiing if I'm confident enough, and do a whole bunch of crazy stuff. I'm not comfortable with this guy on any kind of sports. That's why when I went to Hawaii and did ziplining, I made sure that this camera was physically tethered to me, and it wasn't gonna come off. So even right now, arm's getting tired. If you like to do videos that I sort of like to do, go out in public, shoot things, maybe go a little bit more adventurous, go hiking, that sort of thing, maybe having a 1DX Mark II is not gonna be the best idea for you. I hate having to go back and do reshoots because my scatterbrain can't do a good enough video. I'm caught in my cables. What you guys haven't seen in between the edits is every single time you see one of these cutaways, I've not had to, but I've taken down my camera, took it off its tripod, shut off my lights, which I forgot to light. Hold on. And then start recording, and I'm gonna have to go and splice it all up. Image quality. Now, yes, me vlogging with this 70D is not gonna have as good of a quality as me vlogging maybe with the C200. Now, of course, the 1DX Mark II is far and beyond better than the 5D Mark IV, and I'm not really willing to spend an extra 40% money for about a 10 to 15% quality gain. That's where you gotta take your rule of threes. You're either gonna get it good, fast, or cheap. You can pick two, but you'll never get that last one. Now granted, that rule of threes more applies to services and goods than it does cameras, but you understand where I'm trying to come from. So I know how phones work, I know how GoPros work, I know how DSLRs work, but I don't know how a 1DX works. The whole concept of CFast and full frame is kind of alien to me. So me even picking up the 5D Mark IV is going to be a change that I am gonna have to learn, and that's where skill does come into play. And also, if I see that you're a brand new vlogger right out of the gate, you have no idea what you're doing, and you just bought an $8,000 camera, you have too much money, and you should give it to me. My non-existent Patreon's linked down below. And again, if you're on a third-party website, down here in the YouTube, click that. Am I really reshooting a reshoot? What the fuck's going on here? Is this Suicide Squad or something? Long story short, get the camera for your skill range. It's the same thing with guitar. Don't buy a really expensive guitar when you have no idea what you're doing and try to play Dragon Force Through the Fire and the Flames. Like, you're going to fail. It's not going to work. Or at the very least, you're going to trip over your feet constantly. Okay, so you don't want the beginner cameras. Maybe you want something a little bit more substantial, better video quality, and just all around a better camera. I'm going to be suggesting you one camera from Canon and one camera from Sony. If you are an avid Canon lover like me, I would suggest the Canon 80D. But one thing to keep in mind, if you are looking to transition from a crop sensor to a full frame, maybe getting the 80D is not your best bet. Maybe you might want to go with the 5D Mark II, so that way your lenses will transfer over. And for Sony's prosumer camera, I would suggest getting the Sony A7, or if you want to spend more money, the A7X. Both the A7, A7X, the 80D, or the 5D Mark II will produce the sort of same video quality. Keep in mind that Canon does have a little bit better picture autofocus and better skin tone, in my opinion. I am currently using the Canon's 70D model, which is a great camera, 24.3 megapixels, 1920 1080 at 24 frames per second. But I am going to be upgrading soon, and I'm not going to go for the 5D Mark II, the Mark III, but I'm going to go for the 5D Mark IV, which altogether, all said and done, with lenses, equipment, and all that, will total to about $6 grand. Yeah, and now I know $5,000 for a camera is a lot of money, but it does give you a substantial boost in megapixels, full HD recording, and it is a full frame camera. But there is one camera above them all that produces such amazing, buttery smooth footage and photo. But the question you gotta ask yourself is it worth the price tag? And that is the Canon's 1DX Mark II. 4K at 120 frames per second. Is that right? 4K at 60 frames per second, and 1920 by 1080p at 120 frames per second. Now keep in mind, this absurdly beast of a camera is retailing at about $6,000 for just the body, and it does have a lower megapixel ratio than the 5D Mark IV, but in contrast, it is a much better camera. Why am I talking like a radio host? What the fuck? This is supposed to be a vlog, and I'm sitting here being... Now, there are two cameras that I did not include in my listing because they are not good for both photo and video. Now, if you're going to be doing purely photo, that's what you want to do, that's what you're really good at, that's your passion for, I would suggest getting the 5DS. That shoots at an astonishing 50 megapixels. The downside, it is garbage for video. And if you guys are just video powerhouses and you want something a little bit lower in price, and you're not scared of learning new software and learning how completely new camera systems work, I would suggest getting the Lumix GX5 because that runs at 4K 60 frames and I believe full HD 1920 by 1080 at 180 frames per second. My phone is the Galaxy S7 Edge and it does have a pretty good camera on it. Then I would personally upgrade to the Canon G7X, purely for the size it can just fit in your pocket. From there, I would probably upgrade to the 80D. And then from the 80D, which I hope to do very soon, is upgrade to Canon's 5D Mark IV. Unless a new one comes out, then I'm just gonna be like reading every possible page and every possible listing sheet on the upgrades and weighing them. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this little bit of an informational video. I know it's not really what I usually do, but I just had an idea, sat down, shot it. Well, first I turned on all of these lights and just decided to give you my 2 cents worth. Alright, I'm gonna shut off these lights now and I'm gonna get some sleep because it is currently 12:03 at night. Let's go.